Episode 3: Legitimacy: How Power Survives Without Force. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory of oligarchy, it's essential to recognize that legitimacy isn't solely a product of rational calculation or moral justification, rather, it's deeply rooted in emotions and social norms. This emotional connection allows people to invest their trust and loyalty in a leader or institution, which is crucial for maintaining power without force, a key aspect of Michels' theory. One effective way to cultivate legitimacy is through the creation of symbols, rituals, and narratives that tap into these deeper emotional currents. When individuals share a common purpose within a group, they're more likely to feel a sense of belonging, which reinforces their commitment to the cause. This is precisely what the ruling group aims to achieve by creating shared symbols, rituals, and narratives, thereby fostering a sense of legitimacy. Take, for instance, the concept of national identity. A nation's flag, anthem, or founding myths can serve as powerful symbols that evoke emotions, create a sense of belonging, and reinforce collective values, much like how religious institutions often rely on sacred texts, rituals, and narratives to create a shared sense of identity and purpose among their followers. These symbols become integral to the narrative of who we are as a people, shaping our understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. The stories of prophets, saints, or martyrs can serve as powerful symbols that evoke emotions, inspire devotion, and reinforce collective values. Similarly, these symbolic systems play a crucial role in shaping our understanding of ourselves and our place within the larger social fabric. Moreover, these symbolic systems can be used to create a sense of legitimacy, which is essential for maintaining power without force. In conclusion, Michels' theory of oligarchy underscores the critical importance of legitimacy in maintaining power without force. By creating and sustaining shared symbols, rituals, and narratives, the ruling group cultivates an emotional connection with their constituents, fostering a sense of belonging, shared values, and collective identity, ultimately allowing people to invest their trust and loyalty in a leader or institution, making it possible for power to survive without relying on coercion or force. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory, it's crucial to recognize that legitimacy is not a fixed state but an ongoing process of negotiation and reinforcement. Moreover, this process requires a deep understanding of the complex dynamics at play within the organization, including the interests, values, and beliefs of its members. In fact, the ruling group must continually work to maintain the sense of legitimacy, as it can easily erode over time due to changes in circumstances or shifts in public opinion. One of the most significant challenges facing those seeking to establish and maintain legitimacy is balancing competing demands and interests. This balancing act often involves a combination of symbolic gestures, policy concessions, and strategic communication. In any large-scale organization, there will be individuals or groups with conflicting views on what constitutes the common good. Therefore, the ruling group must navigate these tensions by creating a narrative that resonates with the majority while also acknowledging and addressing the concerns of minority groups. This balancing act is often achieved through a combination of symbolic gestures, policy concessions, and strategic communication. By making targeted appeals to specific constituencies, the ruling group can create the perception that they are responsive to diverse perspectives, thereby reinforcing their legitimacy. However, this process is inherently fragile, as it relies on the ability of the ruling group to effectively manage information and manipulate public opinion. Moreover, Michels' theory highlights the importance of ritual and symbolism in maintaining legitimacy. By creating and participating in shared rituals, such as ceremonies or celebrations, the ruling group can foster a sense of collective identity and belonging among its constituents. These symbolic acts serve as tangible reminders of the organization's values and purpose, helping to reinforce the legitimacy of the ruling group. In conclusion, Michels' theory of oligarchy offers a nuanced understanding of how power survives without force. By recognizing the critical role of legitimacy in maintaining authority, we can better appreciate the complex dynamics at play within large-scale organizations. As we continue to explore the intricacies of power and politics, it is essential to consider the ways in which legitimacy is cultivated and maintained, as well as the consequences that arise when this process goes awry. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory of oligarchy, it becomes clear that legitimacy is not a one-time achievement but an ongoing process requiring constant attention and maintenance. This ongoing process is evident in the fact that ruling groups must continually reinforce their legitimacy through various means, from subtle cues to grand gestures. In essence, this can involve everything from carefully crafted speeches and public appearances to strategic decisions about who gets access to valuable resources or opportunities. One of the most fascinating aspects of Michels' theory is how he highlights the role of symbols and rituals in sustaining legitimacy. By imbuing certain objects, actions, or practices with symbolic meaning, ruling groups can create a sense of shared identity and purpose that transcends individual interests. This can be seen in everything from national flags to corporate logos, sacred texts to company mission statements, all of which serve as powerful symbols of collective values. What's truly remarkable about Michels' theory is how it challenges our traditional notions of power and authority. Rather than viewing legitimacy as something imposed from above, he shows us how it emerges organically from the social dynamics of a group. This means that even the most seemingly powerful individuals or institutions are ultimately beholden to the collective values and norms of their constituents. In fact, this organic emergence of legitimacy is what sets Michels' theory apart from more traditional views. This has profound implications for our understanding of democracy and governance. If Michels is right, then the key to sustaining power lies not in coercion or manipulation but rather in creating a shared sense of purpose and identity that resonates with the majority. Moreover, this requires a deep understanding of human psychology, social dynamics, and the intricacies of power itself, precisely the kind of nuanced analysis that Michels' theory provides. As we continue to explore the complexities of power and politics, it is essential to keep Michels' theory in mind. By recognizing the critical role of legitimacy in maintaining authority, we can better appreciate how power is sustained or challenged over time. Furthermore, this understanding is crucial for making sense of the complex dynamics at play, whether analyzing the rise and fall of empires or the inner workings of modern corporations. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory, it's clear that legitimacy is not just a peripheral aspect of power dynamics but its foundation. Moreover, the idea that a small group can maintain authority without relying solely on force is remarkable, and this is precisely what Michels argues is possible when a ruling group successfully cultivates a sense of legitimacy around their authority. This emphasis on legitimacy as a foundation for power underscores the significance of understanding how it is created and sustained. One of the most fascinating aspects of Michels' theory is his emphasis on the importance of symbols, rituals, and narratives in creating and sustaining legitimacy. This focus on symbolic capital in shaping our understanding of power and politics is particularly noteworthy, as it highlights that power is not simply a matter of coercion or manipulation but rather a complex interplay of cultural, social, and psychological factors. Furthermore, this emphasis underscores the significance of legitimacy in maintaining authority, which is crucial for understanding how power operates. In this sense, Michels' theory can be seen as a precursor to more contemporary approaches to power and politics, such as Michel Foucault's work, which also emphasized the importance of symbolic capital in shaping our understanding of power relations. While Foucault's work often focused on how power operates through networks of relationships and institutions, Michels' theory provides a more nuanced analysis of the role of legitimacy in maintaining authority. This comparison highlights the value of considering both perspectives when analyzing power dynamics. As we continue to explore the complexities of power and politics, it becomes clear that Michels' theory offers a powerful tool for understanding how power is sustained or challenged over time. By recognizing the critical role of legitimacy in maintaining authority, we can better appreciate how power is negotiated, contested, and redefined through the creation and manipulation of symbolic capital. This realization underscores the importance of understanding how legitimacy is created and sustained. In this sense, Michels' theory provides a valuable framework for analyzing complex dynamics within large-scale organizations, from corporations to governments. By examining how legitimacy is created and sustained, we can gain a deeper understanding of the power struggles that shape our world, potentially developing more effective strategies for challenging and transforming existing power structures. Moreover, this framework highlights the significance of considering both symbolic capital and legitimacy when analyzing power dynamics. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory, it becomes clear that legitimacy is not just a means to an end but rather a fundamental aspect of how power operates in large-scale organizations. This realization underscores the importance of understanding how legitimacy is created and sustained, which is where the concept of symbolic capital comes into play. Symbolic capital refers to the intangible yet powerful resources individuals or groups use to accumulate social influence and prestige. In the context of legitimacy, symbolic capital can take many forms, from language and rhetoric used by leaders to rituals and traditions observed. For instance, consider a company CEO who uses phrases like "we're all in this together" and "teamwork makes the dream work" to rally employees behind their vision. These words may seem innocuous at first glance but represent a carefully crafted attempt to create a shared sense of identity and purpose among the workforce. By tapping into these symbolic resources, the CEO can tap into the collective enthusiasm and energy of the organization, thereby reinforcing their own authority. Similarly, consider a government that uses national holidays and patriotic rituals to reinforce its legitimacy. These symbols may seem trivial at first glance but represent a carefully calibrated attempt to create a shared sense of identity and belonging among citizens. By tapping into these symbolic resources, the government can tap into the collective loyalty and devotion of its people, thereby reinforcing its own authority. In this way, both the company CEO and the government are able to leverage their symbolic capital to maintain their power. In this sense, Michels' theory provides a valuable framework for analyzing complex dynamics within large-scale organizations. Moreover, by examining how legitimacy is created and sustained through symbolic capital, we can gain a deeper understanding of power struggles that shape our world. Furthermore, this analysis highlights the importance of considering symbolic capital's role in shaping these power dynamics. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory of oligarchy, it becomes clear that pursuing legitimacy is not merely a means to an end but an integral part of power dynamics at play. This pursuit ultimately enables ruling groups to maintain their grip on power without relying solely on force, thereby empowering them to do so. Symbolic capital refers to intangible resources used to create and manipulate meaning within social contexts. In large-scale organizations, these symbols can take many forms, from national flags and anthems to sacred texts and revered leaders. Crucially, these symbols are not simply empty vessels but powerful tools that shape attitudes, behaviors, and ultimately, the distribution of power. When a ruling group successfully taps into symbolic capital, they create a shared sense of identity and belonging among citizens, which in turn allows them to tap into collective loyalty and devotion, thereby reinforcing their authority. This is a carefully calibrated attempt to create a shared purpose and values that resonate with the majority, ultimately fostering unity. What's most fascinating about Michels' theory is how it highlights the complex dynamics of symbolic manipulation, where different groups vie for control over key symbols' meaning and interpretation. This is where legitimacy truly comes into its own, as the struggle for symbolic capital reveals intricate power struggles that shape our world, underscoring the importance of understanding these dynamics. By examining how legitimacy is created and sustained through symbolic capital, we can gain a deeper understanding of power struggles that shape our world. We can see how different groups use these symbols to justify authority, create divisions among the population, or mobilize support for their cause, highlighting the multifaceted nature of symbolic capital. Furthermore, this complex web of meaning-making and power dynamics is both captivating and unsettling, highlighting the need for a nuanced understanding of legitimacy's role in shaping our world. As we continue to explore Michels' theory, it becomes clear that legitimacy is not just a means to an end but an end in itself. The relentless pursuit of legitimacy drives the ruling group's efforts to create and sustain shared identity and belonging among citizens, ultimately allowing them to maintain their grip on power without relying solely on force. Moreover, as we delve deeper into Michels' theory, it becomes evident that legitimacy is not just a tool for the ruling group to wield, but rather an integral part of their existence. This relentless pursuit of acceptance shapes their decisions and informs their strategies, allowing them to transcend mere coercion and establish a sense of moral authority. In turn, this enables them to govern with autonomy, unencumbered by the need for constant force and intimidation, ultimately solidifying their position. However, what are the implications of Michels' theory on legitimacy? Does it lead to a more just and equitable society, or does it simply perpetuate existing power structures? The theory suggests that the ruling group's efforts to create and sustain a shared identity and belonging can actually serve to reinforce social divisions. By emphasizing certain values and norms over others, they can create a false sense of unity among their supporters while marginalizing those who don't fit into this narrow mold. Furthermore, the pursuit of legitimacy can also lead to moral corruption, as the ruling group becomes increasingly preoccupied with maintaining their own power and prestige. This obsession may cause them to resort to manipulating symbols, rituals, and narratives to further their interests rather than serving the greater good. As a result, this can lead to a society where truth is sacrificed for appearances, and people are more concerned with appearing virtuous than being so. In addition, Michels' theory also suggests that legitimacy can be a powerful force for positive change. When a ruling group creates a shared identity and belonging among citizens, it can lead to greater social cohesion and cooperation, ultimately enabling more effective governance as people work together towards common goals. Ultimately, Michels' theory of legitimacy offers a nuanced understanding of the complex dynamics that underlie power struggles. It highlights the significance of symbols, rituals, and narratives in shaping our perceptions of reality while cautioning against moral corruption and social division. Moreover, this theory suggests that legitimacy is not just a means to an end but rather an end in itself, one that can have far-reaching consequences for individuals, societies, and the world at large. As we delve deeper into Michels' theory of legitimacy, it becomes clear that this concept extends far beyond organizational politics. In fact, the principles of legitimacy can be applied to a wide range of social and political contexts. Furthermore, considering charismatic leaders who have managed to create a sense of legitimacy around their authority, we see figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, or Mahatma Gandhi, all of whom inspired massive movements and brought about significant change without relying solely on force. What stands out about these leaders is not just their ability to articulate compelling visions, but also their capacity to tap into the deep-seated desires, fears, and aspirations of their followers. By creating a sense of shared identity and purpose, they were able to mobilize people around common goals, fostering collective ownership and agency that went beyond mere obedience. This highlights the importance of emotional resonance, social connection, and symbolic meaning in shaping human behavior. When we feel connected to a leader or cause, we're more likely to work together towards common goals, even in the face of adversity. Conversely, when legitimacy is lacking, the consequences can be dire. Think of authoritarian regimes that rely on propaganda, surveillance, and repression, or consider the countless instances of social unrest, rebellion, and revolution that have arisen in response to perceived injustices or abuses of power. In these situations, legitimacy becomes a crucial factor in determining the longevity and stability of any given regime. When leaders are perceived as illegitimate, their authority is often challenged, and their grip on power can become tenuous at best. This is why legitimacy remains such a vital concept in understanding the complex dynamics of power struggles, whether we're discussing organizational politics or international relations. As we continue to explore Michels' theory of legitimacy, it's clear that this concept has far-reaching implications for our understanding of human behavior, social dynamics, and political power. Moreover, by examining how leaders create and sustain a sense of legitimacy around their authority, we can gain valuable insights into the intricate web of symbols, rituals, and narratives that underlie our perceptions of reality. Furthermore, this nuanced understanding can help us navigate the complexities of power politics with greater wisdom and foresight. Furthermore, exploring Michels' theory of legitimacy reveals that this concept has far-reaching implications for our understanding of human behavior, social dynamics, and political power. By examining how leaders create and sustain a sense of legitimacy around their authority, we can gain valuable insights into the intricate web of symbols, rituals, and narratives that underlie our perceptions of reality. And it's precisely this kind of nuanced understanding that can help us navigate the complexities of power politics with greater wisdom and foresight. I corrected only unclear sentences and added transitions where missing to maintain the same text length and word count. As we continue to explore Michels' theory of legitimacy, it's clear that this concept has far-reaching implications for our understanding of human behavior, social dynamics, and political power. It is evident that by examining how leaders create and sustain a sense of legitimacy around their authority, we can gain valuable insights into the intricate web of symbols, rituals, and narratives that underlie our perceptions of reality. Moreover, it is precisely this kind of nuanced understanding that can help us navigate the complexities of power politics with greater wisdom and foresight. Corrected errors. Asterisk added it is to improve sentence structure and grammar. Asterisk added moreover as a transition to connect the two sentences smoothly.